Welcome back after that break. I hope you are ready and poised for our discussions this morning. And before we went on a break, I read to you what is an update of UTAG, the neck of UTAG, and well, their decision to go back to the classrooms until the 4th of March. So in between now and that period, they are hoping and looking at what resolutions will come out, you know, of all the negotiations and the meetings and whatever. Before that, I want to introduce I want to introduce my panel today, my two-man panel, and there is a saying. It's by the professor, one known professor in Ghana, that a man can never be careful unless he wears white or he's in white or buys a new car. Today, we all seem to have white here on. So I'm believing that we are going to be very, very careful, and that whatever we give out to you is going to be nothing but the truth, and we're going to do it just the way that we always do it, giving you a bite of goodness. Well, on my right here, I have Mr. Amaleba, Kingsley Amaleba. He's the spokesperson or the communications rep for the NDC. Mr. Amaleba, you are welcome. And right to his right as well, to my far right, we have Mr. Jan Faru, and he is the communications rep for the NP. Mr. Jan Faru, welcome.
How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How about you?
The same favor is keeping me going.
We thank God.
And
God's favor is working.
Yes,
miracles.
and I want to believe that our cherished viewers out there are equally under the favor of our Creator.
So, Mr. Maleba, how is the favor of God treating you this morning?
The Lord has always been merciful to me.
Amen. We thank God for all his mercies, and we want to delve right into the topics we have for today. And before we do that, road transport. Road transport operators came out with this letter. The first schedule increase in public transport fares for the year 2022. In line with the administrative arrangement on public transport fares, the road transport operators, after intense negotiations with stakeholders and in consideration of the plight of drivers, commuters, and the general public, have agreed to increase public transport fares by 15%. I don't know how the general public, where we decided on that, but I wasn't part of that agreement. But due to current trends on the international market and its impact on domestic prices, we have resolved with stakeholders to review transport fares whenever the cumulative net effect is 10% and above. So they go on to discuss how the fares, you know, affect us, and they even give actual figures there. But the new fares will take effect from Saturday, the 26th of February, just this Saturday, 2022. And the fares will cover the following types of road transport operations. First, the shared taxis, you know, where the taxi has to load, the loading taxis, 4 people in there. The intra-city, which we know as trotro, and the intercity, that's long distance. So it is there. You have to go to the Adwa TV News. You get all these there. I'm very sure of that. So moving on, I want to ask first, Mr. Janfaru. I don't know if you've seen this, heard this, but it's been in the public for some time now.
Yes.
Coming out with this, do you have any message, any information for the road transport operators, and is this what Ghanaians are really looking for, especially where we know that e-levy is somewhere, you know, all around us? It's also coming to add to this. How do you see the increment?
Yes, as usually.
Yes.
Permit me to begin by saying good morning to our wonderful viewers out there. And the issue at hand, transport fares. You and I know that occasionally fares go up. It has been the phenomenon for so many years now. There are so many factors that lead to the increment in fuel prices. However, like you said, it's been hanging on us to the extent that we initially heard that there was going to be 40% increment in prices, I mean fares.
Yeah.
So it is through negotiations that today we are hearing 15% increment in fares. Like you just read, that what is happening is not born out of internal factors, mainly from internal factors, but the international happenings or events outside the country. Okay, when those things impact on the operations of our transport systems, they are, I mean, they have nothing or no option than to equally adjust their prices to reflect the happenings in the industry. So put all this together, I want to believe that fares will definitely go up. This is where we want to equally indicate that, okay, one will say, once fares go up, it affects every
aspect.
Every aspect in life. And it's a reality. Once fares go up, it affects everything in life. So then, and looking at the situation we find ourselves in now, I mean the season, you know, my concern has to do with food. That's my main area of concern. That when prices go up, food products also, I mean prices of food products also go up. And it coincides with the season, where we are in a dry season. Are you getting me? Where production of this foodstuff is on the lower side. So increasing the food, I mean the prices automatically will trickle down to the prices of food, which is already on the lower side.
Okay.
So you can see that prices of food will also go up. That is my concern now. Other than that, it is not a deliberate. I want to believe, when you listen to the tone of the letter, you can see that it is not a deliberate move to, want of a better word, punish Ghanaians with high prices.
Okay.
They consider the plight of
Ghanaians. Because as we are talking right now, food prices are already on the increase.
Yes.
And then Saturday, we are going to see fares shoot up again.
Yes.
This Saturday, I bought tomatoes for 10 cedis.
Yeah.
I got 6.
Sure.
6 tomatoes for 10 cedis.
Yes.
One bundle of kontomire for 10 cedis this Saturday was a shock.
Yes. So you see, this phenomenon, it will be good for us to put on record that it is not a happening here in Ghana alone. Food prices, increase in food prices. You go to Ethiopia today, look, the whole place is dry. When we're talking of the global warming, the effect of global warming on our environment, we downplay certain things.
But you brought in Ethiopia. I want us to compare the soil matter of Ethiopia with that of Ghana. I mean, it's not the same. Ghana is known to have very fertile lands where we've had certain initiatives like planting for food and jobs,
so
which have been a very big agenda.
The question is, what would have happened without such a policy?
We have had years and years without such a policy as well.
Yes. So if we find ourselves in this situation, are you getting me? Even with that policy, it means that the rate of increment in food prices would have been very higher as compared to.
Unfortunately, we don't even have the rates so that we make particular comparisons.
You see, if you don't have the rate, okay, maybe from the statistical service, they will have all those things. But on your own, you can sit down that prior to the planting for food and jobs, are you getting me? Rate of increment in food items as compared to post this policy, rate of increment. At the end of the day, what we're saying is that, meaning you mentioning this policy is a clear indication that the policy is a very fantastic policy.
But as to whether it's working is what makes it fantastic.
When you go to the former NDC MP for one of the regions in the Upper East region, he called on every Ghanaian including NDC members, that the planting for food and jobs, that when he became the MP, he was as poor as a, but as soon as he took himself or he got himself involved in this planting for food and jobs, today, he has acres.
So how come we're still facing certain
That's what I'm saying, that what would have happened but for that policy?
No, right now I think that my concern,
Yes.
and if the viewers also share this concern, is whether we are actually even seeing, because I'm expecting to see a massive change after having at least 2 years of that initiative or that policy, so that where there were shortages, if nothing at all, we would have come out of these shortages. But as I'm talking, you speak to the market women, especially those who buy from the vehicles direct, and they tell you that the shortage in tomato like this is is due to as a result of closure of the borders. So I'm wondering, so is that supposed to mean, is it that tomato has not been factored into that policy, into the initiative?
Which policy?
Into the planting for food, yes.
So
because the shortage is still there, which the planting for food and jobs should have solved. But the shortage is still there, even if there is an increase at all. I mean, we should see something. We never had contomere going as high as 10 cedis before. Even if it goes high, we are looking at it hitting like 5 cedis. But to jump from 2 cedis to hit 10 cedis, then I'm wondering, where is planting for food and jobs at all?
So then, you and I will use this platform, are you getting me, to call on that policy, okay, to be made better. In any case, the 10 cedis you're mentioning as the price of, what is it, the contomere, we should know that there are price differences, especially depending on where you find yourself.
Exactly.
Though the prices may go up, but the rate of increment in your area might not be the same as
yes, and I'm comparing, let me be very specific with this. I'm comparing because if you're a market, somebody who deals with market prices and things, you know that when you are dealing with food, there are certain places that when you go, it's usually cheaper than. So I'm talking about Domi, and Domi market, you have these foodstuffs, tomato, contomere, plantain, and yam being very cheaper there, perhaps as compared to maybe Medina market. And so it's Domi market that contomere is coming at 10 cedis. Then I don't know how it's going to come up for Medina. I don't know how much Malamata will sell. You understand what I'm saying?
So at the end of the day, the price differentials still remain. Okay, the price differentials still remain.
Still remains.
And also, at the end of the day, the prices are up. What we're saying is that, yes, this transport fares, definitely it will affect every
so in other words, from Saturday, economy, we should tighten our belt.
That is what we are expecting now.
All right. Yes. Let me take a word from Mr. Maliba. Mr. Maliba, what do you have to say on this particular one?
You see,
what we should expect.
Good morning to you and to our channel viewers and to Brother Jamfari here. Look, it doesn't matter how government communicators will try to explain it. And it doesn't also matter how government spokespersons, including government officials, and the messengers they will send out to go and defend them may try or will try earnestly to deal with this. The truth of the matter is that this issue is not funny any longer. And we must be very, very serious about it and deal with the matter decisively and handle the issues the way we're supposed to. In fact, I'm looking for a certain message, but I think I'll get it. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party, did not promise Ghanaians hell when they were in opposition. Is that right?
Yeah.
He told us that Mahama government was incompetent and things are getting out of hand. Therefore, Ghana need to be rescued. Mustafa Hamid, NPA boss, you remember one of their press conferences at the party MPP headquarters? Inshallah, we will rescue our country. We will rescue our country. And shaking his head. He was even at the point of weeping, a pretentious Muslim. They knew very well that the things they were telling Ghanaians were not coming from their heart. But you see, sometimes it's too sad.
When you say
how
the things they said were not coming from their
heart. Yes, and I am on the way of explaining them.
All right, okay.
Alhaji Jamfaru is trying to justify why we should tighten our belt. Now he is justifying why we should tighten our belt. But few years ago, he would have sit here and called Mahama incompetent. He still does it. Where lies your competence? Are you guys competent? The truth of the matter is that, contrary to the assertion from my brother Jamfaru, it's a lie and palpable falsehood for anyone to sit on any platform and claim that the prices of fuel product in Ghana is as a result of international market. It's never true. And let me take that argument on the basis of the face value, as he is claiming here. Ghana is an oil producing country, isn't it? Before NDC left office, we developed additional 2 oil wells and left it to President Akufo-Addo. Additional 2. Don't look at my face. Don't look at my face.
Where do I look?
Don't look at my face. If you don't know, go and ask, and I'll be surprised you don't know. We developed, is it 10 fields, right? Is it Tome and Inyira? I don't get the name right. But 10 fields, that is the abbreviation for the name. We built additional 2 FPSOs, FPSO Kofour at Tamaris and Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah was built under Professor Mercer's time, but Kofour and Atamaris was built under former President Mahama. Do you know what that means? It means that the volume of crude oil we produce per day in this country will go up automatically. In fact, it has quadrupled as a result of the development of these 2 wells. The rippling effect is that Ghana, even if the oil price goes up in the international market, it's a gain to us because we also go and sell our oil and we make money. So if we sell and make money, we make excess profit. That excess profit can subsidize fuel price at home. Because we have failed, or the NPP government has failed to develop Tema Oil Refinery for it to refine the crude oil back here when we mine the oil or when we drill the oil. We decide to go and sell it and import the oil back home. Now, the bulk oil importer companies, the reason we are at where we are today is as a result of mismanagement and bad government policies. Number 1, government have been unable to maintain the city to manage the city well. And look at the exchange ratio. The city is now 7-8 plus. It is nearly breaking the 8. Oil have already crossed the 8 mark. You understand? So Ghanaians are paying more because 1, the depreciation of the cedi is affecting the import price, and 2, government prices on the petroleum product. This government is so wicked. Ken Ofori-Atta and President Akufo-Addo, they don't think about the people of this country at all. In fact, they're the most insensitive people I have ever known. And I dare say, apart from the devil, President Akufo-Addo and his cousin Ken Ofori-Atta will be next. I am telling you because they are so wicked to the extent that, you know what the minister, you know what President Akufo-Addo have told his cousin Ken Ofori-Atta to come and tell us? He is now threatening Ghanaians that if we won't pay the e-levy, we should wait to pay more on fuel. Haven't you heard it? Just Google it. Ken Ofori-Atta have said this. So I know e-levy will not pass today, e-levy will not pass tomorrow. And even if they brutally pass the e-levy, we won't pay. But let them go increase the fuel prices. We will hit the street and I can't tell what will happen in this country. It doesn't make sense. You know why? By 2016, I needed only 45 Ghana cedis to go to Bako. Okay? By 2016. Now as I speak, I need, if I am to go to Bako now, I need almost 200 Ghana cedis to go to Bako. Why? Are you thinking it's funny? That we should take things the way they are? Let me tell you, Ghana doesn't belong to President Akufo-Addo and his henchmen from Chebi. It's not their property. And we haven't given the country to them as a business venture to manage, work and pay, and take the proceeds. No. That is not the agreement. Ghanaians queued and voted for them because they promised to give us a better services and they promised to make things easier for us. But you see, why are we here? Like I talk about exchange rate. President Akufo-Addo had a problem in 2016 with President Mahama. You know why?
Tell us.
Because he claimed that we cannot be at where we are today then to buy dollar 3 cedis 72 pesos. He had a problem. Today the dollar is almost 7 to 8 cedis. How do we call him? Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. I feel for the trotro driver, the commercial driver, who have to pay higher prices and insurance premium because of bad government.
Let's do this before you go on. I don't know, but I really would like you to refrain and, if possible, detract the statements where you make comparison between the devil and our president.
I am saying that that's what I mean.
Yes, so yes, I think you can hold on to that. But when you do
comment, if we say that Otiko Jaba called President Mahama a devil, you forgot that?
Yes, and we had issues. We did have issues with it, didn't we?
President Mahama Antichrist.
We
you know what that means?
We had issues with him.
I am saying that Omutimo. That's what I mean.
Yes, so let's leave it at that. But the comparisons here and there, let's not.
Why is he coming in?
Wait, no, hold on. He's not done yet. He's not done. He was talking and I interjected. So please.
Because I'm monitoring the number of minutes.
Yes, don't worry. Don't worry.
You are keeping time here.
Please finish.
Relax.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Mr. Amanila, he was talking to me directly.
Let's
relax. No.
I expect you to protect me on this part.
I'm protecting you. This is your time, so talk. I don't. Yes, I don't expect you.
You were saying something. I'm listening to you.
Yes. So just finish on that. Just finish.
You see. So if CD was 3 cedis 72 pesos,
yeah,
and Nana Akufo-Addo then had a problem with that, how would he describe himself today? So even they were making the noise, backing from rooftops, mountain platforms, doing all kind of things, President Mahama cautioned them. The guys, relax. I will take the word incompetent from President Akufo. I will take it from Rawlings when he was alive. I can take it from them because where I am sitting today, they have been here before. So if they are calling me incompetent, well, I will take that word from them. But none of you out there have come anywhere close to the presidency. Do you know what it means to be a president? Today, we've seen their level.
So in connection,
you can't manage Ghanaian economy.
In connection to the fares.
In connection to the
and
fares.
What Ghanaians should expect. Yes.
It is as the moment petroleum product goes up, you have to expect the resultant consequence. Because once petroleum product goes up, it hits the core of Ghanaian life right away. It's a direct effect. It doesn't matter where you live, it will affect you. Because you can decide not to travel. But still, the food you eat, the salt, the commodities you need, even the medical bills you pay, will all be determined by the fuel prices.
All right.
So, fuel is one thing that government needs to be very, 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 very careful when it comes to managing it. You know something? A lot of commercial drivers are going out of business. Taxi drivers are going out of business. Even the Uber drivers are parking their cars. Now, are you aware that Ghana Statistical Service have just indicated that unemployment have now been skyrocketed since 1984?
All right. So
a lot of people
you've exceeded his by 3 minutes. So I'll give him that 3 minutes to respond. Yes.
Auntie Julie.
Yes, Mr.
You see, anytime I get the opportunity to talk to Ghanaians, I respect them. I don't throw tantrums. Okay. So because I want to believe that.
Let's go direct.
Oh yes, I'm going direct.
I won't take aspersions on this platform.
Let's go.
Auntie Julie, I expect you to protect me.
Don't worry, I'm protecting you.
I won't take aspersions.
Don't worry, I'm protecting you.
If you allow him to cast aspersions, I can do better.
I understand.
And you know it.
I understand you. Mr. Janfaro, please continue.
Amaniba, relax. Okay, we shouldn't be hyper this morning.
Let's go on.
Please.
Just hit
no, you see, the point is that even a toddler in Ghana knows that when we talk of incompetence, NDC that is their name, is their trademark. We know them. It is out of their incompetence. You see, when Nana Addo was speaking, he was not talking out of nothing. It is through incompetence that today, my brother, those days he used box iron to iron his dress to come to this program. Because they couldn't pay for fuel to power electricity. But today, for the past 5 years, he can smoothly iron his own dress and come and appear on this program.
Not everyone would stand or hold claim to that, because there are people who are actually facing. Let me come in January somewhere for about a week.
Can you allow me to flow?
No, don't worry. Let me.
As far as intermittent light out are concerned, it's allowed. I'm talking about persistent 4 good years of doing so. You know it, I know it.
Oh yes, we all know it.
You understand that? It's because of incompetence that they couldn't pay for the fuel that is bragging off.
Okay.
They couldn't raise money to pay for fuel to power the plants.
Okay.
So when we talk of incompetence, he is exposing their incompetence. Because as we speak to you now, the lights are on. He knows it. Businesses that were collapsing under their watch as a result of Dumsor, where are those businesses?
But Dumsor was not 4 years.
It was for how many years?
No, it wasn't 4 years.
How many years?
I just want us to be. It didn't start onset from right. Otherwise, if we say 4 years,
yes.
How long did Mahama come into power then?
Dumsor started in 2013, and after 2016, it was still there. So 2013 to 2016, how many years?
It didn't start from January.
Sorry?
It didn't start from January. So let's be very specific and mindful of the months.
So being specific, how many years?
I can't tell but I know it's not 4 years.
I say to you, Ghanaians know it is 4 years.
Oh really?
Okay.
We will. Yeah, my producer is
no
checking
problem.
on that. So
no problem.
You continue.
But what you and I know is that the incompetence reflected in the electricity or energy sector.
Okay.
Where those days today, do you go out to see that there's no fuel in this country? Despite the hikes, those days trucks were parking because there were no fuel to buy, to be bought. Liquefied petroleum, gas. The normal gas we use at homes. Those days, this man, his incompetent government could not import gas into this country. But today, as we speak, the products are there. You see, there is one thing, availability, and one thing, another thing, the price. So in their time, the availability was not there, and the prices were high. As compared to today, that the availability is there. The prices is what we are working now.
Oh, okay.
You understand that? So at the end of the day, he spoke about the tour. Okay. My brother, you see, when we get the opportunity...
You have just some...
No, hold on.
Your 3 minutes is up, so just some 20 seconds.
No problem. When we get the opportunity, we should educate Ghanaians.
Okay, do so.
The tour that you're talking about, that they have discovered what? Go and ask. They've never added a single barrel of crude oil to their production. Before some of them left.
I think he talked about discovering oil fields.
That's it. If you discover, discovery is different from production. So if a company discovers...
But discovery is the first stage.
That is it. Exactly. No, the discovery is not the first stage.
So what is the first stage?
Exploration is the first stage. You explore.
So it means they explore,
yes,
and then they discover.
Exactly.
So
before you produce.
Okay. Before you produce.
So production is not automatic. Yes.
So you couldn't also have produced
we don't produce.
So who produces?
So the oil producing companies, are you getting me? If they don't produce, it is not the work of the government to produce those oils. Are you getting me?
Okay.
So at the end of the day, there was no production. Yes, there's no production. Okay, so one single barrel was not added. So don't sit here and sound as if they have produced, so the volume of what has gone up. It's probably untrue. You deliberately collapsed Tor. Look at them. NDC, all the MPs, majority of NDC MPs and ministers, they own fuel stations. You know why? They took advantage of finished products, the importation of finished product at the expense of Tor. They deliberately collapsed Tor. As we speak to you now, Tor is back producing. Wow. So at the end of the day, if you sit here and sound as if...
These are allegations.
You understand that? Master, you know, he knows them. Right now, he knows them. There are MPs and ministers who own fuel stations at the expense of the ordinary Ghanaian. So if you get the opportunity and you sound as if... and you sound as if you were better. In conclusion, Ghanaians know that as far as incompetence is concerned, it's for NDC. As far as the mismanagement of this country was, you couldn't raise money to pay common teacher training allowances. You couldn't raise money. Come on, come on.
Aren't we suffering the same fate now, trying to raise money through e-levy?
Oh, we are getting there. But
exactly.
As far as we can get to e-levy, without the e-levy, we are paying the teacher trainees. Without the e-levy, we are paying the electricity. We are sustaining electricity.
But we are being told that without e-levy, we will not be able to.
We will not. Are we there?
Exactly. That's
so that's what I'm saying to you. That is where you and I. Are you getting
I've
me?
been assured by my ministers there that without e-levy, there will be stoppage in road construction. Without e-levy, even the free SHS is good, and even payment of certain salaries.
Exactly.
So is that supposed to mean?
Do you know? That is where somebody will tell you that the alternative, the incompetent alternative that they have subjected us to is to go to IMF for bailout.
And then
and we are saying that considering the cost of IMF conditionalities as against the cost of the e-levy. Are you getting me?
Can I just pitch this in that when we are talking about incompetence, the incompetence is not in the resolution of the crisis, but about the crisis itself. So we are saying that NDC is incompetent because they created this mess, not in how they solved it. But then we are still faced with that same mess.
And it's never the same. I told you that. Yes, I told you that their mess led to their inability to sustain power,
which they solved.
Which solved?
The NDC solved.
Listen to this. Go to March, March 2017. Ofosu Ampofo indicated that, but for the fact that Mahama was taken out of office, he would have solved Dumso. Go to April 2017.
I think I've heard a contrary statement,
even
by the
VP on this particular thing. So go to Sam George. Are you getting me? They'll tell you that, but for the fact that Mahama had been taken off office, he would have solved Dumso. So they themselves knew that they couldn't solve Dumso. In any case, if they had solved Dumso, why did Mr. Donko resign? Because he promised that if by the end of December he is unable to solve Dumso, he will resign. Did he resign or not? He resigned simply because he couldn't resolve them.
There are two conditions to that fact. So you said if he is not able to resolve, that's one condition.
Yes.
Then he would resign in December. I mean, if he's not able to resolve it in December, he will resign. So that's the condition. The condition is with resolution and with the timing as well. So even if it was resolved after December, it means that because of the conditionality of the month and time.
Listen.
Yes. So I wouldn't stick my head out for that particular
thing. I am sticking out my head that he himself, Mr. Donko himself resigned because he couldn't solve it. The chairman of Ofosu Ampofo indicated that they would have solved the problem had they not lost the power. Okay, and I'm telling you that the problem over there was because of their inability to raise money to pay for the crude oil that they imported from Nigeria. So when we came in, the first thing we did was to pay over $60 million to Nigeria to be able to get more crude oil to sustain the the power. And up to date, you know it, I know it. We have resolved that problem.
Okay.
So put all this together. Look, if I get the opportunity,
let's move from here.
Yes, if I get the opportunity, I will not sit here and insult Mahama. I will not sit here and insult anybody, comparing Mahama to any unthinkable thing. But as their culture, taught from top to down, they are free to do that. But all that I will say is that, as far as the management of this economy is concerned, every Ghanaian knows that NPP is on the better side as far as management of this economy is concerned. So put all this together, I tell you that continue to have confidence in the NPP government. Because as for NDC, they themselves know that they don't have the men. My brother spoke. Never gave an alternative. Never gave an alternative. They know how to rant. They know how to speak. But as to giving an alternative, they don't have it. So we always say to you that the alternative is empty.
Have you given them the space to hear their alternatives?
Oh, give him the space. This is a space. So give him the space
no,
to give the alternative.
Unfortunately, this isn't the...
This isn't what?
I mean, this isn't the topic. This isn't the agenda for today's discussion.
My brother,
otherwise,
my sister, you see, if you know 1 + 1, even if you are sleeping and they wake you up, you can't say because you are sleeping, you can't give the answer. So if they have the alternative from top to down, the way they've been coached to say whatever they want to say, they would have been coached to say the alternative too.
I mean, I have not given him the platform. So, I mean, once I've not given him the platform, I cannot judge that he can or he can't. So let's leave that at that.
In response to that, you've
gone overboard for 2 minutes now.
He has spoken without, the point I'm making is that he has spoken, lamented, insulted, without giving any alternative. That's the point I'm making.
We didn't ask for alternatives from him, did we?
Now, do you have to ask?
Like I've not asked it of
No, do you have to ask?
I've not asked it of
you understand that?
And you haven't given me any either.
I said we are solving
You've
the
not given me any either. So let's leave it at that.
We are solving the problem. So put all this together. What we say
I want us, because of our time, I want us to move to the next.
So in conclusion,
topic.
my dear sister.
No, you have concluded.
I have not concluded.
Janfaru, you have concluded.
You say that
you have concluded. You have concluded.
Ghana doesn't belong to the Chebi
Mr. Janfaru, you have concluded.
Make statements
so
like
we're moving on to the next topic. You have actually you've exceeded your time. Do you make
statements like this on air?
You have
Ghana doesn't belong to Chebi people. Ghana belongs to who? It belongs to Ghanaians.
It belongs to all of us.
So why do you have to tribalize the management of this country?
It's okay.
Why do you have to go there?
Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. Let's look at UTAG strike action. We've been told that it's entered the 7th week already, but there is an update as of yesterday. I don't know if you were listening before we started the discussion part. UTAG NEC has told us that they are going back to the classroom. So with this one, we're just going to make a quick pass on it. For 4th March is the deadline they have given. So from now until 4th of March, they will be going back to their classrooms. But negotiations there should be a resolution before the 4th of March. Yeah. What is, and I'll take this from you, Mr. Janfaru. I want you to just tell us just one. So in just a quick 1 minute, because you've already exceeded 3 minutes, so I have 3 minutes bonus for him. So help me with that, a minute or two. UTAG, I know we, as the NPP communications rep for, for NPP, what would be an assurance, by way of an assurance, at least, for UTAG, especially where their terms of conditions and all that.
No, you see, Auntie Julie.
Yes.
The point you are making is this, that at the end of the day, thank God that the UTAG have seen reason to suspend, if possible, call off the strike. It's in the interest of everyone.
Okay.
Interest of the lecturers, the students, parents, and government. As a student of management, negotiation is key in everything. If you don't negotiate, if you don't sit down to negotiate, you will not find solution.
All right.
And when you are negotiating, what I believe in is that we should be realistic. We should just be realistic in our demands. It is real that you are being underpaid. The government is being real that the kitty money is not there. Are you getting the point I'm making?
The money is not there.
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 Okay.
Are you getting me? The money is not there. And if I talk of the money is not there, you see, the problem being so big, that money is not there. We are able to construct, for the first time, over 4,000 kilometers of roads. Despite me saying that the money is not there, 4,000 kilometers as compared to 2,000 of 8 years of NDC. Despite the fact that money is not there, we are able to sustain electricity. We've been able to employ all these things.
But you are talking about these projects having started from the beginning. It's not now. These projects, the 4,000, you didn't start today, you didn't start last week or last month.
Yes.
Yes. So when you say despite the money not being there, because you were assured by the president, we were assured by, let me land, we were assured by the president before that the purse is there, there is money there. And so he comes in and then starts on certain projects. As at when these projects started, the money was there. So to say that the money for constructing the roads, you are the one saying that the money is not there.
Yes.
As if these projects were just constructed recently. That is my take on what you say.
No, then your understanding is not what I'm saying.
So tell
what
me,
I'm saying is
make
this.
it clear for me. Yes.
The problem of this country is big. Are you getting me? The problem is big. And me, if I say the money is not there, what I mean is that we are solving the problems. But we need more of the money to be able to resolve all.
Now, when you say the money is not there, I don't think that it means that I have scanty money. When you say the money is not there, you created the impression right now that even though there is no money, we are still constructing roads for you.
Yes,
that's what you are saying. And I'm saying that road construction started when the money was there.
No, that is your statement. My statement is that if you say that the money was there when they were constructing, that is your statement.
No,
my statement is this.
As I sit here, I speak for my viewers, and I'm saying that the money was there because
the
president. The money was there. You brought the there. I don't know the there you're talking about.
But you said money was there. I am saying that there is no money.
Yes, you're saying the money was not there. That's what you said.
I said money is not there.
Exactly.
You understand? So there is no money. And I said to you that...
And I'm saying that the very constructions, the very policies that you are talking about, that you did, though the money was not there, didn't start at a point where the money was not there.
When did
when you assured us that there was money.
Hello, from my statement this morning, did I give timeline when there's no money?
But we are talking we are still in context of now.
Yes.
Now you are saying you built this and this when money was not there.
Yes.
Are you trying to tell us or convince us, the Ghanaian, that ever since you came into power, money has not been there?
Oh, Julie.
Yes.
You know it.
I don't know it. That's what I'm asking.
No, you know that.
I don't know it. Because I was assured. I was assured by the day.
Julie.
Yes.
Don't you know that we take taxes?
I know you take taxes.
So if you say there's no money,
that is why I am alarmed when you say the money is not there. And I repeated it 3 times, and I made you repeat after me too, and you did say it.
Okay, maybe I was being when Jesus said Lazarus. Listen, when Jesus said Lazarus was sleeping, the Pharisees took it that he was sleeping. Until he went further to say that he is dead. Are you getting me? So maybe you took my statement out of context.
That is why we are trying
That is the point I'm making.
That's why we are trying to explain it, so I don't take you out of context.
Fantastic. So you take me out of context. So my understanding, the point I'm making is that despite the fact that before we came in, Spiogabra, NDC, His Excellency John Mahama, they all told us that Omar Wisikana Manaka don't pay.
Okay.
They told us all this.
Yes.
And we said despite the Dompe, the bony economy, we were able to construct roads.
Then hold it there. That is where this comes in, because my viewers and myself are thinking then that there was nothing but bones left.
Yes.
But you assured us before, assuming
what was the outcome of the assurance? It's the product of what we are doing.
No. Let's hold on, Mr. Jamfaru. You assured us that there is money. In fact, there is so much money in the system. That is the reason why we Ghanaians were convinced and we voted for the NPP. Fantastic. I was assured that there was money there, and for some reason or the other. Yes, I'm very...
Julie,
yes.
The point is this.
I've made you exceed your time because this particular statement
the point is this. When NDC cancelled teacher trainee allowances, when they cancelled nurses training allowances, when they suspended university allowances, when they did all the cancellations, are you getting me? If we tell you that we have the money, we'll be able to do them. Are you getting me?
Yes.
And we came into office and we are able to do them. Do you still doubt us?
Listen, my issue
do you still doubt us?
I know, I'm not doubting you.
So if we say there is money, because we got the money, that is why we were able to restore all those cancelled.
Okay, so where did you get the money from?
We got them from this, you know, the sources of revenue for this country.
Okay.
We talk of taxes. We talk of loans.
Okay.
Are you getting me? We talk of grants. We talk of money from export and what have you. But the major source has to do with 2 sources. Has to do with the taxes and the loans.
So, Mr. Jamfaru,
the point we're making is that one alternative is becoming more expensive.
Okay.
That is the loan aspect.
The loan aspect.
So we are looking at getting the money from within. Hence the concept of what the e-levy we are talking about.
Okay.
That if you were talking of going to borrow,
okay,
the higher your debt, the higher the interest rate.
Okay, Mr. Jamfaru, I get you on that.
So
let's
come back to the issue of UTAG.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, what we're saying is simple. UTAG is suspending their strike.
Yeah.
glory be to God. Students will go back to the office, I mean to campus. Lectures will resume. At the negotiation table, we call that both parties should be frank to each other. Both parties should be quite realistic to each other. So that come by 4th of March, the two parties will say, oh yes, we have come to a conclusion that yes, lectures will continue unabated or without interruption.
So without e-levy, do you see lecturers being given what they want?
Without e-levy?
E-levy.
Yes, they could be given.
All right.
In the sense that when we take the e-levy, hold on.
That's
the
okay
e-levy as a percentage of the total revenue we are looking out for. Are you getting me? It's just a percentage. So we are adding it to what we were expecting. Whether it comes or it doesn't come. But we need it. But
we've made e-levy seem like a do and die affair. I'm surprised that now. See, let me give him the time. Now you have
extensive conversation.
I know. I have checked.
To fill the gap.
Listen, Mr. Maliba, if I don't, if I didn't give you the time, Mr. Maliba, if I don't give you the time, then you have caused for
no, you see,
okay. So no, Mr. Janfar, this is his time now.
You see, I respect him a lot.
I believe he respects you.
But he's doing the opposite of what he's doing. Because you cannot be talking and doing this.
No. He hasn't come to you.
No, if you talk to him.
Please help me.
If you say
Mr. Janfar,
Mr.
Janfar, I understand this.
Am I here alone?
You see, I kept making that point that we have exceeded your time. So I understand where it's coming from.
But
I wish you would also understand where it's coming. You have the floor. Yes, please do so for me. Yeah.
Alhaji Janfaru is known for his extreme verbosity devoid of substance. He's known for that.
You say this.
No, you've made one or two about him as well. So allow him.
Have I mentioned his name in this?
Hold on.
He
has the floor. He has the floor. Let him talk.
No, the point I'm making is that. The point I'm making is that I will not sit here. Listen, I will not sit here for him sitting here like this to talk about me in order to.
You know something?
Do you hear what he's talking about?
You called him
you understand that?
So I can do that. Allow him.
Can you please you see, when we talk of incompetence, you see, it's a general statement.
Okay. Can you please
so you can sit here and attack my personality. You can walk away. It doesn't matter.
You have the floor.
You cannot attack my personality.
Please talk.
You understand that?
And even lie here, a Muslim lying.
Look at
please.
Let's
no, but that's what we did.
Let's go. Let's go to the facts. We're talking about UTAG.
Look at family and friends.
We're talking about UTAG. We're talking about UTAG, Mr.
What's it about? I'm talking about ball.
Bagby spoke about friends and this. Bagby said it. You know it. Bagby said it. Is Bagby the president?
You see, the matter is this. I have this story here. From Adom TV, 2nd March 2016. Mahama dissolved no credit for solving Dumsor. I won't justify whether or not Mahama solved the Dumsor.
He didn't solve it.
But I'll give you few scenarios and allow our viewers to judge it.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Dumsor did not start by President Mahama. And indeed, Kwame Nkrumah gave us Akosombo.
Yeah.
At the time, Ghana population was just 6 million or 4 million. That was 1962 when Akosombo came into the mainstream. Nkrumah in his wisdom realized that Akosombo alone cannot provide us with the needed power we want. And indeed, it was even made because of vacuum at Tema. So Nkrumah realized that we need more or additional power sources. Research were being done into solar power production in the north.
Okay.
How do you call it? Bui Dam was part of those projects. In fact, by February 24, 1966, when Kwame Nkrumah government was toppled, engineers were at site.
All right.
In addition to that, all the major roads in Ghana were being earmarked for mini dams to be constructed along those rivers so that we can get power supply from different parts of the country to supplement our national grid. That time the focus was on hydro, but not thermal.
Okay.
But as time progresses, we realized from 1980s coming that the population were increasing, and we need to extend power to rural communities. So Akosombo was becoming less dependable. So Kwame Rawlings's government came out with Abuaze gas, Abuaze plant.
Yeah.
Okay, which was a thermal plant that time. But the problem continued because the population keep growing, and given the advent of modern gadgets, phones, ACs, etc., our demand for power will continue to increase.
Yeah.
So when Kufuor came to power, he also came and met the same problem. He tried his best, but he couldn't solve it. Notable solution among them was busing people from Accra to Akusumu to go and pray so that rain will fall to fill the dam for us to get power. All these were some of the solutions proposed by or preferred by the MPP. So when Mahama came to power and Meros, the problem was there. They also tried under President Meros to do few things. To me, President Mahama leaders, how do you call it, his appointees, let him down. And they let him down because the power outages, as we saw it be under Mahama time, was a complete sabotage. I can't say everything on air here. You understand? I can't say everything. But we know what went into it. Mahama decided that it's a national challenge. It is a problem. I will fix it. He went to parliament and promised that he will fix it. He built 2 power batches. We have them in the country now. In addition to that, he brought in Ameri plant. Ameri agreement was build, operate, own and transfer. Are you aware that this $510 million plant is now fully owned by government of Ghana? Who did that arrangement? It was President Mahama. So the solution was that because of rainfall fluctuations, we can no longer depend on hydro, but we need to look at other sources. So the focus went into thermal. So when those plants were brought into the country, the solution was how do we get money to buy live crude oil to power those plants? Then Mahama quickly came out with this Atuabo gas project, which was $1 billion project, so that Ghana, we are oil producing country, and producing oil come with the natural gas, which is a free buy product from the oil industry. Therefore, let's process our own gas so that we can get it and fill the plant and get our power here. These were things that Mahama government did. As a result of that, Atuabo gas alone have so far given this country over $3 billion within the past 5 years. Because Ghana was spending a whopping $5.5 million, $550 million every year to import crude oil to power this plant. But because of Atuabo gas, that money now goes to the government of Ghana's pocket. So Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia on 2nd March went to power, multimedia, and said that Mahama deserved no credit for solving Dumsor. And from January to December and January 7th, 2021, when we handed over, there was no power schedule or load shedding in this country called Dumsor. Therefore, Mahama ended it. We are here talking about availability of gas. What made the gas available? Gas are now available because we have a Atuabo gas plant that processes our gas. We no longer depend on gas from the West African gas pipeline. Neither do we import gas from Nigeria. We get it here at home. So if you take your cylinder to the gas filling station to buy gas and you get it, then know that it is an investment Mahama government did. You are talking about competence economic management. Before you came to power, our debt was 120 billion Ghana cedis.
From
how much is our debt now?
No, I just asked harmless. From
so how much is our debt now? We are cruising around 360 billion Ghana cedis. At the time when this was leaving office, our debt to GDP was 54%. Now it is 83, 87, 83% to GDP. To the extent that the economy have collapsed. Government can no longer raise bonds in the international market. Investors are running away from the Ghanaian bonds. That is why they are resorting back to be forcing us to pay levy. We won't pay today, we won't pay tomorrow. And he made a flimsy allegation that NDC MPs are own filling stations. I disassociate myself with that, from that.
And I stand by that.
I disassociate myself. NDC MPs are own filling stations. Go along the Accra Kumasi highway and see new filling stations that have been built under this era. Is it owned by them? Who are the owners of those filling stations? But you see, he's talking about how they have dealt with those, that they have built a resilient economy. Are you able to pay for your own NAPCO employees?
Yes.
The Tescon guys who walk in the jungles, who campaign in the jungles to bring President Akufo-Addo back to office so that he and his Chebi family can live a comfortable life, making all the monies they want.
There he goes.
Have they given a reward?
There he goes again.
Just last week, the NAPCO guys were out there, how do you call it? Demonstrating. Am I the one who sent them out? Are they NDC guys?
Yes.
You own people. And you sit here and claim we built. For the NAPCO people, they are owing them 11 months. They haven't paid. Teacher training allowance.
5 months.
Not 5 months.
But
not
they are
5 months.
claiming 5 months.
I'll come in. I'll come in.
No.
Even if it is
No,
1
hold
month,
on.
even if it is 1 month, do you think that 1 or 2 months is enough? And 5 months, are you aware that even national service personnel have not been paid since January? Are you aware of that? Teacher training allowances, have they paid? Government is owing statutory funds, like Get Fund is not going. Assembly Common Fund is not going. NSS is not, how do you call it? NHIL is not going. All the statutory funds, government is unable to pay. School feeding program, how do you call it? Our national health insurance scheme is dying. Go to hospital. My nephew had an accident last week. As I speak, he's still in admission. The money we are paid at Konfanoche, only heaven knows. Nothing is covered by the how do you call the national health insurance scheme. You understand? Ghanaians who are there, who are direct victims of this poor policy, wicked government policies by President Akufo-Addo, they will attest to it. So those of us who are in, we know how we are feeling.
Which
Therefore,
policy do you see as wicked?
It is very wicked because
which policy?
it is a deceptive
Which policy?
for government. Whilst we were campaigning, in fact, Kendi Japan on UTV, GTV, sorry. So the NAPCO was a scam. They brought the NAPCO to mislead the youth to vote for them. Do you think that it's not out of wickedness policy for a government to march, how do you call it, to assemble a youth at international, how do you call it, Accra Black Star Square, give them T-shirt, come and march in the scorching sun for 3 hours? While the president, I'm coming. While the president was comfortably viewing them from his comfort zone. But at the end of the day, I'm coming. At the end of the day, you come and stand before this youth, you give them a slants, a flowering speech, knowing that what you are telling the people are not coming from your heart. If you are not an extraordinarily hard-hearted person, will you do this?
No, I still, on May Day, wait, Mr. Maliba, on May Day, on Independence Day, we do see such scenarios.
This is not Independence Day.
Yes, no, I'm not saying it was. No.
The comparison doesn't go because I am talking about where government deliberately assemble youth to the Black Star Square to march.
To initiate.
He's giving them NAPCO.
Yes.
700 Ghana cedis a month.
NAPCO has worked.
That 700 Ghana cedis is a gross. What comes to them is 600. I think a little above 600. And you think that is fair? In your own estimation, you think it's fair?
When you have collapsed the economy, will
you shut up and let me talk? I was here when you were speaking. Osafumafu, respect yourself equally. Osafumafu, whose children were comfortably cruising in the diaspora. They did nothing. They will come home. He take one to NH, how do you call it? National Communication Authority, one at Senate, and give them high portfolios, and come and tell the Ghanaian youth that the public sector is full. Government can no longer employ you. Therefore, go on your own. I'm coming. Additionally, Keno Foriata, who is cutting all the dirty deals in this country and making all the money, is telling Ghanaian youth that government cannot employ you. Go on your own. And you are telling the Ghanaian youth that I am going to give you 700 Ghana cedis a month. Selectively as it was, they call it NAPCO. And at the end of the day, your own member of parliament, Kendi Japan, will tell us that it was a scam. You did it to mislead the youth to vote for you because of vote. But
NAPCO, I'll give you your time. NAPCO,
and you think that this is wickedness?
NAPCO has worked for some time.
For who?
For the NAPCO beneficiaries.
For beneficiaries,
They
and
have,
they were out there. They were out. I didn't master.
yes, yes. It was just last week that they were out there telling us. But prior to that, they have been enjoying.
And you think NAPCO is? I'm coming. You think NAPCO is reasonable?
I don't know what you mean by reasonable. What measures? What are the measures you are using?
Yes. He's here claiming that NDC collapsed the economy. We couldn't create jobs, and therefore teacher training and nursing training allowance we couldn't pay. We have explained this, but we'll explain it again.
Okay.
What was the rationale behind the substitution?
Actually,
don't worry, I'm on time.
You've
used, so allow me. Yes.
When he was speaking, I was here.
Allow, please.
you've taken twice of my time already.
We were building schools, building hospitals, etc. And I'll give you one classical example. Go to the Tema Port. Go to Terminal 3. Go to the Ghana High Court, the High Court complex. Go and see the Ghanaian youth who have been employed there. Are they not given permanent employment? The hospitals we built, the nurses, if they complete nursing training school, where do they go? Do they go to my village to farm tomatoes? They go to hospital to work because nurses works in the hospitals, teachers works in the classroom. That is why we're providing the infrastructure so that you will not only get the job, you will get a conducive environment to work from.
Okay.
Because it is an entitlement by the Constitution.
Okay.
It's a statutory duty. The government should be able to provide a congenial working environment for its citizens.
Okay.
You came and said that was a bullshit. In any case, the nursing training allowances that we substituted into the student loan came with the eradication and the elimination of the quota system.
Okay.
That prevented people, our brothers and sisters, who wanted to be teachers and nurses, but by virtue of this imposition of allowances, the quota system prevented them from getting access.
But you have heard that Ambrose Derry say that unpaid NAPCO training allowance is actually better than unemployment graduate association.
I was coming there.
Fine. But are you aware?
He already entered.
But are you aware? Are you aware that?
So that he finished.
Are you aware? The NAPCO guys who went and demonstrated.
Yeah.
Who are they? They are graduate unemployed. And are you aware about the Graduate Unemployed Federation of Ghana? Do you know of them?
Go ahead.
We have one, Graduate Unemployed Federation of Ghana. And we have Graduate Unemployed Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana. Are you aware of them? You wouldn't be aware. You wouldn't be aware. Pipiro, Divan Nkrumah, he led the movement, or he led the group to form the Graduate Unemployed Association. That time, he was working with Group Indum, a private sector conglomerate. Living a comfortable life he wants. Where is Pipiro now? Nana Akufo-Addo came to power. He has collapsed the Indum businesses. Now Pipiro have become unemployed. When he was employed, he formed the Graduate Unemployed Association. But now that he is unemployed, he is not forming any association.
All right.
It's like contradiction.
So you've delved really into the next topic very well. So I'm going to give Mr. Damfaro the opportunity to talk, especially on the unpaid NAPCO trainee allowance issue as well. That's why I told you to exercise patience. You see. So go on.
Julie.
Yes.
You see, NDC, we thank God Ghanaians know them. All the hospitals that Kufuor-led administration started, when they came, they stopped all those projects. Euro 8 project, they stopped all of them. Then they started. Mention all the hospitals. And I'll tell you today, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Mills, they don't mention his name. All the hospitals they're talking about were initiated by Mills. And I dare tell you that all those hospitals, they took loan. It's not the cancellation of nurses' allowances that led to the production or building of hospitals. They couldn't just pay. It's as a result of wicked policy. They only cancelled the teacher training allowances because the hospitals, they took loans to build those hospitals, of which the Ridge Hospital, 6 billion went into their research to win election 2016. 6 billion that could have paid NAPCO and many they used it for their research just to win 2016. Nunu Mensah confirmed it. Put that one aside. So every Ghanaian know that when they say they cancel teacher training allowance so that they will build hospitals, they took loan to build hospitals. They only cancelled the teacher nursing training allowance because they couldn't raise money to pay them. That's point number one. Point number 2, you talk of employment. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, all those nurses were left unemployed. It took Nanado's government. As we speak to you now, it's up to 2018. He has employed all of them. 2019, some of them are on rotation. They are now finishing their rotation, awaiting this thing. You left all those people. You cancelled the teacher, the allowances. You left them unemployed. Then you talk of they will be employed. You see, NDC, you should know them. So we are solving the problem. We solve the unemployed nurses problem, and we solve the allowances. So that is the difference between NDC and NPP. NAPCO, we were in this country when Ghanaians were shouting, crying. Are you aware Mahama, His Excellency, told Ghanaians that he's not a magician to provide us with jobs? Because he said we are sick of quick forgetfulness. I'll remind Ghanaians that Mahama said he's not a magician to provide Ghanaian youth. When Ghanaians were shouting, crying, that was when he came out to say that he's a dead goat. All this has happened in this country. And somebody comes in, okay? And even before we came in with NAPCO, we have the YEA. The YEA that Kufuor started, Youth Employment Agency. You came in. The result is that Abu Gapele and co are in jail. Because you use those money for your personal gains. Abuse the office. You never every day I told you that NDC is empty. They don't bring any alternative. What they come to meet, they destroy. Before NAPCO came in, YEA was there. They came in, they destroyed it. They make money out of it. Some of them are in jail. Now NAPCO, you have the nerve to talk about NAPCO. Go to this 600 and 700 Ghana cedis we are talking about. Most companies were paying managers 400 Ghana cedis as at then. In 2013, 14, 15. Companies were paying, a whole branch manager was taking 400 Ghana cedis.
Really?
Okay, in this country. So if NAPCO comes in and gives 700 Ghana cedis, you sit here and downplay it. Look, we never force any Ghanaian. It is the Ghanaian youth who voluntarily went in to buy into the NAPCO policy. And you sit here and you want to lie to Ghanaians that it's about 11 months. Please, Ghanaians know. Officially, the policy ended in October. Okay? It ended in October. Out of 100,000 Ghanaians, 33,000 of them have transited into permanent jobs. Left with the 67,000 that we are thinking of the exit. Before they even came in, they are aware. It was made known to them. That's a 3-year policy. The concept is that most organizations, before they employ you, they ask you, how many years experience do you have? 2 years, 3 years, and what have you. We say we'll give you the experience and also pay you. You will go to outside the country, as you are schooling, they give you time to work and make some small money. By the time you finish your course, you have accumulated experiences. So that is the concept of this. So we give you the experience and we pay you in addition. And you sit here, you want to mock that policy that you couldn't provide a single employment to anybody.
So what has happened to the policy now since
yes.
you see NAPCO trainees demonstrating?
So the point is this. Between October and now, are you getting me? The 5-month, 6-month interval, there is the concept of transition. That's why we are rooting some into those who want permanent. You know, there's an instruction from the government that MMDCs who are hosting these people should not take them away. They should look at how best we can fix them into this thing. All this is ongoing. Yes, if you don't pay somebody 1 month or 2, the person will get agitated. But the point I'm making is that the policy that is coming behind is better than just paying you the 1 month and you go away. Because we're thinking of what? How to keep you in there. Those of you who want to go into entrepreneurship, we give you your ability, the support to go in there. Yes, so if they come out, the other day, those who were speaking, you could see that my brothers, they just formed some clique of individuals, mixed themselves up with the real NAPCO trainees and took the center stage and be talking about government what. Look, majority of them. Are you because of the claim? Majority of them.
Are you claiming that those who went on to demonstrate last week?
Most of them, we know them NDC people. That is the beauty of the
So
NAPCO.
They are not NAPCO trainees.
Most of them are NAPCO trainees. Some of them are not NAPCO trainees. The beauty of the NAPCO program is that, like Nanado said, he's a father for all. He opened it up without discrimination. So you see every Ghanaian, NDC, MPP, we know them, we work with them. We know them. You know this is an NDC person, but he's benefiting from. But he will come and be talking. But at the end of the day, his own government told him there's no money to pay them. But we gave them the opportunity to serve. We are not, once we are a Ghanaian, that's the difference between NDC and MPP. Once we are a Ghanaian, and you have something to offer this nation, we'll give you the opportunity. So fellow NABCO trainee, wherever you find yourself, what we are saying to you is that yes, those 1 or 2 months are there, we will pay you back.
Okay.
In coming to the issue.
So just wrap up with 30 seconds.
Oh, you can do this.
Yes, my time is up.
The point you are making is this. His Excellency John Agyeku Kufuor's government did not hand over Dumsor to NDC. Because from 2011, 9, 10, 11, 12, we never experienced Dumsor. So Nana Ado's government rather inherited Dumsor from NDC. But NDC never inherited Dumsor from what? MPP. That must be made loud and clear.
All right.
Put that one aside. We were here when Mahama looked into the faces of Ghanaians that if you cannot pay trotro, if you cannot pay for fuel, go and use trotro.
Okay.
Mahama looked at this and told us that the common phones that my brother has 2 phones now. Me, I still have 1. Mahama's time, if you have only 1 crore, I say it's because you are charging phone. That's why you are not able to. We are not able to get
Mr. Jafar.
Today, my brother has 2 phones and he's still enjoying power.
Oh,
Julie, when we do this, when you do this, so the power generation.
I know when you are talking, it seems like you've had a short time.
Power generation.
Else is talking,
let me conclude on this.
The time is up.
Power generation. We know that what NDC did, as far as power generation is concerned, is to kill this country with the policy of take or pay policy.
Mr. Maliba, it's time now. Kindly mute the line for me. Yes, thank you.
A power agreement. By the time we were leaving office,
just 30 seconds, sir.
We were able to give 30, how can you give me 30 seconds?
Yes.
How?
That's your wrapping up time. How? Yes, that's your wrapping up.
By the time we're leaving
we are
office,
done.
We were able to provide 1,937 megawatts for this country. They've been in office for the past 5 years. No single megawatt.
Because we don't need it.
Have been added in.
All we need is to generate.
He didn't interrupt.
No, we said we don't need.
He didn't interrupt.
All we need is to be generate, and that's what we are doing it. That's why we have the lights on.
They should go and abrogate how do you call it?
You only deal the Ameri deal and you know the amount of money people made out of it.
So
they should go.
You see, you know the amount you people made out of it, and the cost that it is costing this nation, and you sit here and you are proud of it.
All right. So
we don't need more power. All we need is to generate, and NPP is generating power for this country.
Yes, you've heard their take.
I don't know what your take is. You saw the power. From Ghana,
I don't know which stand you are, where you take, left, right, NPP, NDC, or whether you choose to be neutral. Well, whatever it is, I know that it depends on your pocket, how you feel it, and how you take it. So let's meet here. Let's do this again tomorrow, 6 a.m. Jonathan will bring us the news. Yes, tomorrow. So continue with us throughout the day. Our programs continue. So continue with us, and let's meet here at 6 a.m. Congratulations to Sam Kusi Apia, aka Coach, for finally tying the knot. Congratulations from the whole Ghana crew as you enjoy your honeymoon as well. From the AM Ghana crew to you, our viewers, we love you and we do cherish you. Let's meet tomorrow and do this again. Bye-bye.